Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I really hope you all had an amazing week which has passed by and you all are looking forward to another amazing week which is coming up. Now, for today, the concept that I'm about to speak, it is not something, again, it's not a life lesson or something like that, nor it is something that, honestly, I'm neutral on this topic. I won't say that I strongly believe, nor do I say, there is nothing as such. This concept doesn't exist. It might be there, it might not be there. Almost like a neutral on it. Now, again, I think almost in every religion across the world, they do say this, right? They say it in different ways. Some say, you do bad, then the bad will come to you. You do something to somebody else, someday that same thing will happen to you. And that's how, they motivate you to do the right thing. So they motivate you to do the morally correct things. But what has happened? This is something when I was taught, like throughout my childhood, throughout when I was growing, that don't think bad about somebody, don't do bad to somebody else, don't be greedy, don't be this. These are all like a bad things. And if you do it, someday it will come back to you. And as I was growing up, I have observed one thing. Honestly, even you all might have seen it so many times, the people who do the things which are not right, who do the bad things, or the ones who are the greedy ones, who do all the things which are, you don't, they're not set to be falling in a correct category, are eventually getting everything that is right in their life. They're having a very fulfilling life. They seem to be happy with their actions. Somewhere down the line, they're getting a lot of blessings also, I feel. And there is this another concept which was being circulated, or still it is being, they say, you do bad, then you see, your children have to pay it. Or somewhere down the line, you have to pay for your parents' scene and all that stuff. Even that, I don't see it. I don't know if you all might have seen or might have again observed something similar, that it's just the opposite. The one who is doing good is the one who is also at the suffering end. And this whole topic, guys, it just came up because, I went to visit one of my friend whose father is in hospital. And I could very clearly relate with him through the issues what he's going through right now, because I have been in a similar place some years ago, wherein my dad was also quite sick and he had to have this, multiple hospital visits. He had to be admitted into hospital, quite a number of times. And, back then, uh, I had kept what you call a caretaker in the hospital so that he could help me, to move my dad around when he was admitted. Being a girl, physically, it wasn't like that so easy for me to help my dad, to move around or to make him sit on a wheelchair or take him to different departments. So, and my dad was a little bit healthier, and for me, it was like, the weight issues. There were different things because of which I didn't wanted to take a risk of, going ahead and doing it by myself, and then, either hurting him or hurting myself in trying to make him move around. And this guy whom I had hired as a help for me, I happened to say it to him once. It was once or twice. I think we were just having this topic. It came up that, you know, you do so much of, sacrifice so much. You do this for this one, and whatever you do the good things, but at the end you're getting all the bad stuff, right? You have to suffer. And he is somebody who's not educated. Like, he wasn't, I don't think he has done any sort of schooling and all. And he just happened to tell me this experience, He said, why do you feel that you know, you feel that you're unlucky or your dad is having to suffer so much and it is a bad thing? So then I said, see, I have seen like people who have done bad and they are getting all the good things. So I don't know where all that thing, whatever I've learned, right? That if you do good, you'll get good. If you do bad, you'll get bad. When is this concept gonna come true? Like, if it is true, in any case. And then he just went ahead and he shared one of his incidents, or one of the experience that he had, when he was working, I think, on a small restaurant or something along a roadside. His very first job. Like, he hasn't studied, so he does all the odd jobs that come his way. And he was sharing this experience with me. So there was this one, I think he was, somebody who used to wash the utensils and clean the utensils and keep in a restaurant. So he was working in this restaurant, and just opposite that restaurant on the roadside, there was some spiritual man, I think, who used to just come sit over there and meditate. There was a tree, and he used to just meditate under the tree. And he's like, throughout my around 9 or 8 months that he has worked over there, I had never seen him talking. He never spoke to anyone from God knows from where he came, and he sat over there, and he uh, used to do his meditation, and God knows where he used to go also at night time. So nobody knew anything. But he used to just come, sit there and meditate. And this restaurant for which he was working, they also had this, a section for sweets, I think. Or maybe it was mostly into sweets restaurant, then I don't know. Some restaurants which are like very dedicated only to catering to sweets. And it so happened that the owner of this restaurant, this sweet shop, he was very we could say greedy, somebody who won't even let out 1 rupee to anybody else, that type. And he says, he remembers that even when he used to sell sweets in grams or whatever, in kilos, he used to make sure that it is exact that particular amount, even if it was like, going 10 grams ahead or whatever, few grams ahead. He used to, break some portion of the sweet and keep it aside to make it like, even that amount only. And probably he used to do a little bit of cheating as well, trying to get more money from the clients for a lesser quantity. And this went on, and eventually someday I think he passed away. Like, during the tenure that this fellow was working over there as a cleaner, the owner passed away. And the sons took over it. And again, 2, 3 months down the line, or I don't know, maybe 4, 5 months down the line, um, the sons had already become very good in running the restaurant, and they had exactly turned out to be like their father. The whoever took over the restaurant to run, that particular son was like an exact replica of the father. So he did exactly what his father did. He was also being very stingy, filled with lot of greed and everything, like same like the father. And one of the days, they used to just pile up the utensils and keep in a corner, it seems, to wash them. And these are the utensils same in which, the sweet is prepared. So sometimes, it gets stuck in the interiors of the utensil. And randomly, for a period of days, there started to be a dog who used to come and lick the utensils, roadside dog or stray dog. Probably he was hungry. And these people used to shoo him away. 2, 3 times they shooed him away. And the fourth, like again, after 2, 3 attempts of, telling him, shooing him away, the dog used to return. And one day the son got really angry, the one who was now running the restaurant, and he poured a hot oil over the dog. This is something he told me, which was very, it wasn't really a good thing, to even hear it, but it seems he did like that. And the dog, he cried and he just ran away from the place. Whether it was oil or water, I'm not sure. Something that was hot was poured over the dog just to shoo him away so that he doesn't come back again. And at that very moment, now this is the whole thing where it gets a little bit, I won't say creepy, or a little bit, something which anybody would get scared of. So at that particular moment, when the son, he pours off the hot water or oil over the dog, and the dog runs away. The first time, this spiritual guy who used to sit under the tree and do his meditation started laughing. Okay, and he said these words. He said, "Look, the son is pouring hot oil on his father itself." And this guy, like this caretaker who was working over there, he's like, that very moment I got shit scared and I left the job. So that's what he wanted to probably explain to me, that what you do, probably it comes back to you in different rebirths. I don't know. You know, they always say this. Again, it has been said so many times. If you open any of the very, spiritual person's YouTube channel, they say, you sometimes have to pay for your previous sins from your previous birth. Now, the problem is we don't remember what sins we have done in the previous birth. So, we really don't know what is true. It might be true, it might not be true. Now, this particular incident, which I just explained, it is, yeah, it can, make you feel that yes, you have to pay for what wrong that you do. But again, I don't know, like sometimes it becomes, I think, it's more frustrating because when in your current life you're doing everything that is right, you're doing good, you're being, you go as per whatever your religion tells you, you try to be the good person, and when that bad thing comes to you, it really, I don't know, it doesn't make like a lot of sense. And at that point, I think many of the people who are even like, being the righteous people, they do feel that betrayal. They feel, why is this happening? Again, if there is anything like this, that you have to pay, whatever that you do, you have to pay it at some time. Problem also comes because you don't remember anything from the previous birth, right? And now, like, you have to pay. And honestly, sometimes I used to feel that, all these things what people say, that you are paying off the burden or the load from your previous, whatever, your previous birth and all. I used to feel, or sometimes I do still feel that, maybe it is just a way of making you feel good, that, okay, just think, whatever this wrong that is happening right now in your life is because you did something wrong in your previous birth, which nobody remembers, right? So, yeah, you all can share if you all have any such experience like this where you felt, and, I'm still in the middle of, I don't know, I'm not on either sides. I don't say karma doesn't exist, and I won't say it's wholly dependent on karma. It's something, sometimes it makes you feel that yes, it is there. Sometimes it makes you feel, really, is this the thing? So I'm neutral on this. But yeah, this is my experience. One of the very, I never had this sort of a conversation or this sort of anything, anybody explaining me right, on face and saying something like this happens. This is the first time it was, and I had almost forgotten about it. But recently when I visited, my this colleague, and the whole cycle was going on ahead in front of me, which I have already gone through. At that time, I remembered all all of these. Previous incidents which had happened with me, like, some experience which somebody shared with me. So, yeah, again, what I feel is, do whatever that you feel is right. Again, I always say this, never to harm somebody else and never to harm yourself, and just live your life, to the best, in the best possible way for yourself. But regarding when things go downhill, or when things are not as per your expectations, or life is throwing you some really difficult situation, I think maybe it is better just to accept it as a part and parcel of life, and to go with it, try to find a solution and get out of it, rather than going into all this other deeper stuff. It may be there, it may be not be there, but I don't know, even accepting it or rejecting it, it doesn't lead you to a different place. Maybe you can get some sort of mental, that strength, that okay, I did something wrong, previously, so I'm paying for it, so that's fine. If that satisfaction, if it gives you that satisfaction, then it's fine. You can't do anything much about it. So, yeah, this is a small experience, guys, I wanted to share with y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Okay, see you till then. Bye bye. Have a great week ahead.